zeroing back to conscience through meditation, prayer, and mindfulness, the little voice that guides you will become clearer, and you learn to trust it more. And this is because I believe that, like I said, it's actually God talking to you. I'm trying to make this as relatable as possible, because sometimes I feel like I talk like an air sign, like I'm building castles in the air. But we have this thing, women saying we have a sixth sense, someone saying I had a gut feeling, I just had a feeling that it was bad, it wasn't for me. Those feelings are not a coincidence, because you don't get those feelings all the time. So let's say you're about to do something, then something tells you don't do it, and you do it. Most of the times you'll regret doing it, or you'll be like, I wish I stuck to my original thought. So what I'm saying is, through meditation, through prayer, through mindfulness, you're able to learn how to listen to your little voice. You're able to trust your intuition and your gut feelings, because those are the little subtle signs that the Creator, that God uses to speak to you. Since of course haezi shuka hapa down na kuambia cheki ama kutumie text, your vibe, your aura, that's how God speaks to you. So if you look within, I personally believe, if you look within, if you spend time with yourself, doing the things that make you happy, doing the things that make you feel like yourself, doing the things that are making you feel like you're working towards your purpose, I believe that any time spent with self is equal to worship. If you take time to find what God's purpose is for you on this earth, tell me hapo just spend time na Mungu wako. Again, if you're made in God's likeness, self-love is something that, is like, actually I remember from the two laws that JC alitoka earth kama amesema. It said love your God, then your neighbor as you love yourself. So you see, loving self, if you don't love yourself, there's no way you can purport to love your neighbor. In fact, hautajisikia na your neighbor. And if you don't love yourself, loving God is gonna be pretty hard. It's gonna be pretty hard, because life ni tough bila self-love. In fact, why I'm so passionate about the conscience and the importance of learning how to listen and listen to your conscience, trust your intuition and all those things, is because, again, when the veil was torn, them days in the Bible, after Jesus was crucified, that meant that you didn't need any medium to talk to God. It meant that we can talk directly to God. So if you learn how to listen to yourself, listen to that voice, and you ask God something, atajibu. So when you learn to listen to your conscience, your gut and intuition, your purpose in this life will be revealed to you. And trust me, your purpose is tailor-made for you. No one else can do what God put you here to do. Nobody else. It's like think about your purpose like a suit or like an outfit. Hakuna mse mwingine atatoshea hiyo stuff. Hata kama tunashare the same size, it's tailor-made for me. It's my purpose. It means that if I don't fulfill my purpose, your purpose haitakuwa imefanyika in the universe. So you see the importance of learning how to listen to yourself, listen to God speak to you, listen to what makes your heart, burn with desire, what you feel like doing because it's made for you. You really need to take time to center yourself, to be grounded, to meditate, to pray on it, so that your purpose is revealed to you, so that you do what you are meant to do on this earth. Hakuna venye tunaweza kwa tunapitia earth and then we are all going to live the same way. We're not. It's not possible, and it's not even practical. And I'm saying this because basically religion is a bunch of different people telling you their interpretation of what is God's word. But what is your interpretation? It matters as well. And don't you have the capacity? You're divine. You have the capacity. You're alive. You can read the Bible and decide what it means to you. You can. You don't need anyone to tell you, well, ujui, wacha mimi nikushu. They can guide you, they can help you understand, but ultimately, what does this mean to you? Like, cheza kaa wewe ni deep. There's a time I read that cheza kaa wewe is one of those phrases that Kenyans have made that in English it loses translation. Because cheza kaa wewe means ni wewe tu unaweza cheza hivyo. Hakuna mtu mwingine anajua kenye unataka kufanya. No one else, only you. So listen to yourself, find it, read stuff, research for yourself, and decide. What, with all this information in front of me, what does this mean? You know, I believe I have the capacity to connect with God and for Him to reveal all those things, like, is it my purpose to reveal what some things happening in the world mean, what some experiences I've gone through mean, why I needed to go through them. God anaweza niambia mimi. He doesn't have to go to a certain pastor so that your pastor akuja anishow. If I ask God, if I pray and meditate on it, atanishow I'm worthy. I have the capacity for God to reveal Himself to me. He doesn't have to go tell someone and uambia hivi purpose yake ni hapana, ataniambia mwenyewe if only I ask. Pia kuna verse kama hiyo, right? Ask and you shall receive, knock and it shall be opened, and I don't know what the third one was. Nimesahau. The way God reveals Himself to me is not the way He'll reveal Himself to you. I believe that someone's relationship with God is so personal. Like, siezi elewa mbona God means so much to you, venye naeza elewa why God means so much to me. It's very personal. It can't be haikuangi group work. Hawezi sema, oh, ametuonekania. You know exactly where God met you at your point of need and why from that point you decided that what, he's the guy for me, ama this is who to talk to when I'm feeling a bit stuck. One of my cousins, shout out to Sian, one of my cousins was telling me, according to the Bible, God's name is I am. Remember when He told Moses, when they ask who sent me, who should I say? I am who I am, He sent me. So His name in the Bible is I am. However, we are not like tunajua that God anaitwa provider, protector, comforter, Prince of Peace, Yahweh. There's so many different names for God in the Bible only. And why do you think that is? Because everyone gave God a name according to where He met them. Alijionyesha lini, ile siku haukuwa na kitu akakupea everything. He's my provider. That time I was so depressed, so sad, and He gave me comfort. He's my comforter. You understand? So how God reveals Himself to me isn't necessarily how He'll reveal Himself to you. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. No one has to understand why you do things the way you do with your God. No one. It just matters that God anakujua, anaona roho yako, na wewe unafanya nini, unacheza kama wewe. Yeah. Finally, my last point. Remember your divinity. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you are unworthy, that umekosa sana, that you've gone astray from God so far that God has removed His gaze from you, or that God has forsaken you. Never let another human being tell you that. Never. Because Mungu si mtu. God is not a man. And we're so lucky, because if He was human, I don't think many of us would be here. We're not worthy at all. But because God is God, you don't have to lie. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to dust yourself off. You don't have to go for your dirty clothes before you go in front of God. You only have to go as you are. And you only have to be honest and genuine as you're speaking, because He sees your heart, He sees your intentions, and He sees your mind. Just because fellow human beings don't understand you, just because fellow human beings make you feel like you're not spiritual, doesn't make it true. Just because other human beings don't understand how you pray or how you connect with God, doesn't make it any less a connection. Mungu ni Mungu wetu sisi wote, na yeye ni Mungu because he doesn't get swayed by these human feelings. Ati today you sinned and you hollered at God, so he's like, sishiki simu. No. God is not human. As you go through life, as you try and figure out your purpose, as you dust yourself off from your mistakes, from your lessons, as you grow from the things that you have gone through, remember your divinity. Hii pep talk imenisaidia personally. It's something I've thought about for years, but it still makes me feel so safe when I remember that God made me to be who I am, no one else. And with his help and guidance, I'm going to be exactly who I was meant to be. And I think I'm well on my way, guys. Yeah. I don't know if I managed to get my thoughts across the way I wanted to, but I really wanted to do this video for a long time. I really overthought it because I didn't want to offend anyone, but I'm so happy that I've done it because I feel charged up by the message myself, and I hope it makes you feel the same as well. That's it. I'ma see you next week, I promise. But until then, take care. See you in the next vlog. Bye.